And we're live. Thank you, millionaires, for being here and tuning in to another episode of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, where we like to dig deep into the minds of the millionaires and suck out all of their secrets and stuff so that we too can learn how to keep our money and manage it and just, spend it wisely and be good stewards of our money. Now, guys, number one, I would like to apologize in advance. I do have birds. I'm Puerto Rican, so I lack tropical, and I try to bring the tropical inside my house. So I have a few birds that make a lot of noise, but, my excuse is always, I'd rather have an angry bird screeching over my shoulders than an angry boss. I don't know if you're feeling me. But anyways, y'all, if they start to make a lot of noise, just do one of these. But guys, check it out, right? I actually read the chapter in advance, the chapter that we're going to be reading today, and I'm so excited because it is so good. This guy is going to tell you specifically how to think so that you can start to really just make really good decisions when it comes to your money, guys. I mean, yeah, network marketers and entrepreneurs, we teach you how to make the money. We give you the opportunity. We give you the tools. We teach you the skills. But what do you do once you make it, right? A lot of people just spend it. But guys, I want to introduce you guys to our panelists. And I just want to go ahead and start from the left to the right, to the left, to the left. So who we have here is Jessica and John McCall, if I said that correctly. And I'm excited because she is a teacher, and she's going to be reading for me. So just in case my birds get loud, you may not even hear me because I'm going to mute myself. But I'm excited because she's going to read just as exciting, and she's going to put all this, jazz into it. So I'm excited. Introduce yourself, guys. Thank you for being here.
Hi, we're Jessica and
John.
And we're happy to be here.
Yep. Yay! Now, how long have you guys been entrepreneurs? And I love how you were like, "Hi, we are Jessica and John." That was so cute. So cute.
I have been doing marketing now for close to 2 years now, and it's just an amazing career, basically. Teaching people how to make money and get out of the whole vortex of the job.
Amen. Amen. And Jessica, how's it been, being a part of John's journey into the entrepreneurial world? Because you're a teacher, right?
Yeah. So I'm on summer vacation right now, but during the school year, I'm getting up early and doing my day, and I commute about an hour both ways and stuff. So that's been interesting. But what I've really gotten out of it is the mindset. And so it's really fun to be on this panel and to see my mindset changing, and it's really been for the better.
Great, awesome. I know that's one of the things that I seriously just want, like a plague. I just want this to get out into the world so people can really just help, so that this can help with people's mindset, you know what I mean? And they can grow and expand in their business. Thank you guys for being here. I am so grateful for you guys. And John, he always provides so much awesome wisdom. Last week, he had us do a challenge. And repeat that challenge. What was it?
It was to take 24 hours and look at the words that you speak and then kind of separate them into negative and positive, and then take account of what you're doing and then try and change, change what you are doing for the positive.
Okay, sounds good. That's awesome, guys. So yeah, we've got some challenges on this, panel. We've got challenges. He actually challenges you in the book to do something very similar, and I think he says for like 7 days. But anyways, guys, let's keep going on. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, John. I'm excited for having you guys here, and I can't wait to hear all of the awesome things that you're going to be able just to kind of share with us on the panel. Thank you. And we have here Edgar and Myra, and it's Edgar Roche and Mayra Bonilla. And listen, guys, if you Google her name, man, I'm telling you, she's everywhere. I love her. She's my little Puerto Rican entrepreneurial princess. She does everything in Spanish, and her husband does too. So if you guys want to connect, if you guys have, prospects, whatever that you would like, for for Myra just to kind of explain your business. Well, anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. My bad, y'all. Getting all excited. Alexander, can you please mute your microphone? This is Alexander. He's interested in me, y'all. He's on here because he has a crush on me. But I'm married. But anyways, Myra, Edgar, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, we are super excited again to be another Tuesday here with our awesome friend Savelina and with the other panelists that we always love, because this is like a very powerful for us. Like we need this boost to continue our week. It's something amazing that every time that it's like the word is talking to us from this book, and I hope that you can enjoy all the insights that we're gonna share with you guys today.
Awesome, thank you, Edgar. Thank you so much.
Hi everybody. Yeah, I said this before we went live, and I'm gonna say it again. These colors really were not planned. We just I guess we have a mind alike, so yeah, it kind of happened. Well, we're proud to be here.
Thank you, Edgar. And I think that's him being humble. I really do think that they planned it, and they're just trying to make the other couples feel awkward. Because you know how, there's some couples that just make you feel really awkward. They wear and then they kiss in front of you, and then they're like, but anyway.
We just sit here and say, why you put that shirt on? Really.
Yeah, I never liked like dressing like her or her same colors or anything. I don't like that. But it happened today. I guess it's the first time for everything.
That is so funny, y'all. This is going to turn into like a marriage counseling therapy session. I'm telling you, it's going to be hilarious, though. But thank you guys so much for being on here. I totally appreciate you guys, and I love the flavor that you bring to the panel. And next we have Alexander Vargas. Yes, we have the same last name. Like I said, he is interested in me, so he follows me everywhere I go. He's all over social media, liking my posts and stuff, and it's very flattering. Alexander Vargas, go ahead and introduce yourself, honey.
Hey, how you guys doing? Well, I'm blessed to be here today, to share this book with you guys. If you guys hear the background noise of our beautiful birds just chirping, just make believe that you're in a tropical forest. All right, so it could be a soothing noise for you guys. I can't wait to get to the pages and start reading. I've read this book in the past, and every time that I read a new page or I listen to it in my car, I learn something new. So just looking forward. If you're here watching us, right now you're on your way to success. So, it's a blessing to be here, and I'm ready to get started. Whenever you are, Princess.
Oh, you see, I told you guys he flirts with me. He flirts, Alexander. I'm married. You need to stop. Oh, and in response to your tropical zone, there you go. How do you like that? You like it? It's nice, isn't it? All right, guys, so we're going to get into this. Jessica, I'm going to do a screen share. I'm excited for this one here. It's such a good chapter, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the screen share. Jessica, you can unmute your microphones, and we're just going to read, and I will flip the pages for you, girl, and then we'll stop where he talks about doing the declaration of the Millionaire Mind. So I will tell you where to stop, okay? So all right. Go ahead and jump into the screen share.
Wait for it.
There it is. Boom. All right, guys. So here let's see. Oh, hello. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes, success story.
Yeah.
Can you zoom a little bit, Savelina? Because
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Right there?
That's good.
Okay. All right, there you go, Mama. I'm going to unmute myself. Here we go, y'all. Prepare to be a millionaire.
Success story from Rhonda and Bob Baines. Subject, we feel free. We went to the Millionaire Mind Intensive not really knowing what to expect. We were very impressed with the results. Before attending the seminar, we were having a lot of money problems. We never seemed to get ahead. We would continually be in debt and not know why. We would pay off our credit cards, usually from a large bonus at work, only to get back into debt within 6 months. It did not matter how much money we made. We were very frustrated and argued a lot. Then we attended Millionaire Mind. While listening to Harv, my husband and I kept squeezing each other's leg and smiling and looking at each other. We heard so much information that had us saying, "No wonder. Oh, that's why. Everything makes sense now." We were very excited. We learned how he and I think so differently when it comes to money. How he is a spender and how I am an avoider. What a horrible combination. After hearing the information, we stopped blaming each other and started understanding each other, and ultimately started to appreciate and love each other more. It is almost a year later, and we still do not argue about money. We just talk about what we learned. We are no longer in debt. In fact, we have money in savings, the first time in our 16-year relationship. Yeah! We now not only have money for our future, but we also have enough money for our normal everyday expenses, playing, education, long-term savings for a home, and we even have money to share and give away. It feels wonderful knowing that we can use money in those areas and not feel guilty because we allocated and dedicated it for that purpose. We feel free. Thank you very much, Harv. Special bonus offer. Let's see. T Harv Eker's 3-day Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar free. As a thank you for purchasing Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, T Harv Eker is offering a scholarship for you and a family member to attend the 3-day Millionaire Mind Intensive Seminar as his complimentary guest. That is a total value of $2,590 for free. These guest seats are available to purchases of T Harv Eker's Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, published by Harper Business. The course must be completed by July 1st, 2006, and this offer is made on a space available basis. You want me to read this? Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, okay. Is this it? Okay. This looks good. Share the wealth.
Wait, hold on. Give me 1 second because this doesn't look like. Oh, where did I go? What is happening here? Hold on. I don't know how I got there. I must have clicked out of it. Because that almost looks like that's like the end or something because it has a certificate. Let's see here. 26, blah, blah, blah. Stay tuned. This is a commercial. Where are we? Okay, we did this one. We did this. We did this. We did this. Okay, we just read that.
Yeah.
It's the page 57.
57?
Yeah, if you want, I have it on my computer.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah, we have to keep going after all of this because here he's doing a, what is he doing here? Promoting his training, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? Do I now have all of the pages?
Looks like the end of the book.
Right?
There's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
Huh.
About the is that no? There's the beginning, right? Or no, maybe it's the end.
Okay, this is hilarious. And no, guys, it looks like I don't have the entire book. Oh, this is so funny. What about you, Myra?
I got it. Don't worry. Let me share the screen just for you.
Okay.
You should get it on a 50% off sale.
You're gonna do your screen share?
Yep.
Okay.
Let me find the first. Okay. You see it?
Yep.
Okay. That happened. We're live. Whee!
This is awesome. I should think about doing some commercials.
Yep. 57. Which page we are right now? Okay, hold on. I had it. Okay. What is the page?
Mhm.
I passed through. I'm sorry.
It is okay. Hey, my love, you work at Honda, don't you? Throw a Honda commercial in there.
Good. I know, that's what I'm doing.
Is Vargas frozen? Vargas, you're frozen. Oh no, you're not. You're staring into what?
Listening. I'm just listening to you guys. Just see how you guys are fixing the technical difficulties.
Cool. He's waiting patiently.
What was that?
I'm excited to have it. Don't worry.
I know. I am so glad that you have it.
Wealth files?
Perfect.
That's it right there, right?
Yep.
Yes, that's it right there.
Let me try to find it here just to see.
Jessica, how can you see that? Can you see that?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right. The wealth files. 17 ways rich people think and act differently from poor and middle-class people. In part 1 of this book, we discuss the process of manifestation. Recall that thoughts lead to feelings, feelings lead to actions, and actions lead to results. Everything begins with your thoughts, which are produced by your mind. Isn't it amazing that our mind is pretty much the basis for our life, and yet most of us have no clue as to how this powerful apparatus functions? So let's start by taking a simple look at how your mind works. Metaphorically, your mind is nothing more than a big file cabinet, similar to what you'd find in your office or home. All information that comes in is labeled and filed in folders so that it's easy to retrieve to help you survive. Did you hear that? I didn't say thrive, I said survive. In every situation, you go to the files of your mind to determine how to respond. Say, for example, you're considering a financial opportunity. You automatically go to your file labeled money, and from there decide what to do. The only thoughts you can have about money will be what are stored in your money file. That's all you can think about, because that's all that is in your mind under that category. You decide based on what you believe is logical, sensible, and appropriate for you at the time. You make what you think is the right choice. The problem, however, is that your right choice may not be a successful choice. In fact, what makes perfect sense to you may consistently produce perfectly poor results. For instance, let's say my wife is in the mall. That shouldn't be too hard for me to imagine. She sees this green purse. It's on sale for 25% off. She immediately goes to her mind files with the question, should I get this purse? In a nanosecond, her mind files come back with the answer. You've been looking for a green purse to go with those green shoes you bought last week. Plus, it's just the right size. Buy it. As she rushes to the checkout counter, her mind is not only thrilled that she's going to have this beautiful purse, but glowing with pride that she got it for 25% off. To her mind, this purchase makes perfect sense. She wants it. She believes she needs it. And it is such a deal. However, at no point did her mind come up with the thought, true, this is a really nice purse, and true, this is a great deal. But right now I'm $3,000 in debt, so I better hold off. She didn't come up with that information because no file in her head contains that. The file of when you're in debt, don't buy anymore, was never installed in her and doesn't exist, which means that particular choice is not an option. Do you catch my drift? If you've got files in your cabinet that are non-supportive to financial success, those will be the only choices you can make. They'll be natural, automatic, and make perfect sense to you. But in the end, they will still produce financial failure or mediocrity at best. Conversely, if you've got mind files that support financial success, you will naturally and automatically make decisions that produce success. You won't have to think about it. Your normal way of thinking will result in success. Kind of like Donald Trump. His normal way of thinking produces wealth. When it comes to money, wouldn't it be incredible if you could inherently think how rich people think? I sure hope you said absolutely or something to that effect. Well, you can. As we stated previously, the first step to any change is awareness, meaning the first step to thinking the way rich people think is to know how rich people think. Rich people think very differently from poor and middle class people. They think differently about money, wealth, themselves, other people, and pretty well every other facet of life. In part 2 of this book, we're going to examine some of these differences, and as part of your reconditioning, install 17 alternative wealth files into your mind. With new files come new choices. You can then catch yourself when you are thinking like poor and middle class people, and consciously shift your focus to how rich people think. Remember, you can choose to think in ways that will support you in your happiness and success instead of ways that don't. Wealth principle. You can choose to think in ways that will support you in your happiness and success instead of ways that don't. A few caveats to begin. First, in no way, shape, or form do I mean to degrade poor people or want to appear to be without compassion for their situation. I do not believe that rich people are better than poor people. They're just richer. At the same time, I want to make sure you get the message, so I'm going to make the distinctions between the rich and poor as extreme as possible. Second, when I discuss rich, poor, and middle class people, what I'm referring to is their mentality, how different folks think and act, rather than the actual amount of money they've got to their value to society, or their value to society. Third, I will be generalizing big time. I understand that not all rich and not all poor people are the way I'm describing them to be. Again, my objective is to make sure you get the point of each principle and use it. Fourth, for the most part, I will not always be referring to the middle class specifically, because middle class people usually have a mix of rich and poor mentalities. Again, my goal is for you to become aware of where you fit on the scale and to think more like the rich if you want to create more wealth. Fifth, several of the principles in this section may appear to deal more with habits and actions than with ways of thinking. Remember, our actions come from our feelings, which come from our thoughts. Consequently, every rich action is preceded by a rich way of thinking. Finally, I'm going to ask you to be willing to let go of being right. What I mean by that is, be willing to let go of having to do it your way. Why? Because your way has gotten you exactly what you've got right now. If you want more of the same, keep doing it your way. If you're not rich yet, however, maybe it's time you consider a different way. Especially one that comes from someone who is really, really rich and has put thousands of others on the road to wealth too. It's up to you. The concepts you're about to learn are simple but profound. They make real changes for real people in the real world. How do I know? At my company, Peak Potentials Training, we get thousands of letters and emails each year telling us how individual wealth file has transformed people's lives. If you learn them and use them, I am confident they will transform your life too. At the end of each section, you will find a declaration and a physical movement with which to anchor it into your body. You will also find actions to take to support you in adopting this wealth file. It is imperative you put each file into action in your life as quickly as possible so that the knowledge can move to a physical, cellular level and create lasting and permanent change. Most people understand we are creatures of habit, but what they don't realize is that there are actually two kinds of habits, doing habits and not doing habits. Everything you are not doing right now, you are in the habit of not doing. The only way to change these not doing habits into doing habits is to do them. Reading will assist you, but it's a whole different world when you go from reading to doing. If you are truly serious about success, prove it and do the action suggested. Wealth file number 1. Rich people believe, I create my life. Poor people believe, life happens to me. If you want to create wealth, it is imperative that you believe that you are the steering wheel of your life, especially your financial file. If you don't believe this, then you must inherently believe that you have little or no control over your life, and therefore you have little or no control over your financial success. That is not a rich attitude. Did you ever notice that it's usually poor people who spend a fortune playing the lottery? They actually believe their wealth is going to come from someone picking their name out of a hat. They spend Saturday night glued to the TV, excitedly watching the draw to see if wealth is going to land on them this week. Sure, everyone wants to win the lottery, and even rich people play for fun once in a while. But first, they don't spend half their paycheck on tickets. And second, winning the lotto is not their primary strategy for creating wealth. You have to believe that you are the one who creates your success, that you are the one who creates your mediocrity, and that you are the one creating your struggle around money and success. Consciously or unconsciously, it's still you. Instead of taking responsibility for what's going on in their lives, poor people choose to play the role of the victim. The victim's predominant thought is often, poor me. So presto, by virtue of the law of intention, that's literally what victims get. They get to be poor. Notice that I said they play the role of victim. I didn't say they are victims. I don't believe anyone is a victim. I believe people play the victim because they think it gets them something. We'll discuss this in more detail shortly. That said, how can you tell when people are playing the victim? They leave 3 obvious clues. Now, before we talk about these clues, I want you to realize that I fully understand that none of these ways of being has anything to do with anyone reading this book. But maybe, just maybe, you might know someone who can relate. And maybe, just maybe, you might know that person intimately. Either way, I suggest you pay close attention to this section. Victim clue number 1, blame. When it comes to why they're not rich, most victims are professionals at the blame game. The object of this game is to see how many people and circumstances you can point the finger at without ever looking at yourself. It's fun for victims, at least. Unfortunately, it's not such a blast for anyone else who was unlucky enough to be around them. That's because those in close proximity to victims become easy targets. Victims blame the economy. They blame the government. They blame the stock market. They blame their broker. They blame their type of business. They blame their employer. They blame their employees. They blame their manager. They blame the head office. They blame their upline or their downline. They blame customer service. They blame the shipping department. They blame their partner. They blame their spouse. They blame God. And of course, they always blame their parents. It's always someone else or something else that is to blame. The problem is anything or anyone but them. Victim clue number 2, justifying. If victims aren't blaming, you'll often find them justifying or rationalizing their situation by saying something like, money's not really important. Let me ask you this question. If you said that your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your partner or your friend weren't all that important, would any of them be around for long? I don't think so, and neither would money. At my live seminars, some participants always come up to me and say, you know, Harv, money's not really that important. I look them directly in the eyes and say, you're broke, right? They usually look down at their feet and meekly reply with something like, well, right now I'm having a few financial challenges, but I interrupt. No, it's not just right now. It's always. You've always been broke or close to it. Yes or yes. At this point, they usually nod their head in agreement and woefully return to their seats, ready to listen and learn, as they finally realize what a disastrous effect this one belief has had on their lives. Of course they're broke. Would you have a motorcycle if it wasn't important to you? Of course not. Would you have a pet parrot if it wasn't important to you? Of course not. In the same way, if you don't think money is important, you simply won't have any. You can actually dazzle your friends with this insight. Imagine you're in a conversation with a friend who tells you, money's not important. Put your hand on your forehead and look up as though you are getting a message from the heavens. Then exclaim, you're broke! To which your shocked friend will undoubtedly respond, how did you know? Then you stretch out your palm and you reply, what else do you want to know? That'll be $50, please. Let me put it bluntly. Anyone who says money isn't important doesn't have any. Rich people understand the importance of money and the place it has on our society. On the other hand, poor people validate their financial ineptitude by using irrelevant comparisons. They'll argue, well, money isn't as important as love. Now, is that comparison dumb or what? What's more important, your arm or your leg? Maybe they're both important. Listen up, my friends. Money is extremely important in the areas in which it works, and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. And although love may make the world go round, it sure doesn't pay for the building of any hospitals, churches, or homes. It also doesn't feed anybody. Wealth principle. Money is extremely important in the areas in which it works, and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. Not convinced? Try paying your bills with love. Still not sure? Then pop on over to the bank and try depositing some love and see what happens. I'll save you the trouble. The teller will look at you as if you've just gone AWOL from the loony bin and scream only one word, security! No, rich people believe money is not important. I don't think I read that right. I'll try it again. No rich people believe money is not important. And if I fail to persuade you and you still somehow believe that money's not important, then I have only 2 words for you. You're broke. And you always will be until you eradicate that unsupportive file from your financial blueprint. Victim clue number 3, complaining. Complaining is the absolute worst possible thing you could do for your health or your wealth. The worst. Why? I'm a big believer in the universal law that states, what you focus on expands. When you are complaining, what you are focusing on, what's right with your life or what's wrong with it. You are obviously focusing on what's wrong with it. And since what you focus on expands, you'll keep getting more of what's wrong. Many teachers in the personal development field talk about the law of attraction. It states that like attracts like, meaning that when you are complaining, you are actually attracting crap into your life. Wealth principle. When you are complaining, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. Have you ever noticed that complainers usually have a tough life? It seems that everything that could go wrong does go wrong for them. They say, "Of course I complain. Look how crappy my life is." And now that you know better, you can explain to them, "No, it's because you complain that your life is so crappy. Shut up and don't stand near me." Which brings us to another point. You have to make darn sure not to put yourself in the proximity of complainers. If you absolutely have to be nearby, make sure you bring a steel umbrella or the crap meant for them will get you too. I stay as far away from complainers as possible because negative energy is infectious. Plenty of people, however, love to hang out and listen to complainers. Why? It's simple. You think that's bad? Wait till you hear what happened to me. Here's some homework that I promise will change your life. For the next 7 days, I challenge you not to complain at all. Not just out loud, but in your head as well. But you have to do it for the full 7 days. Why? Because the first few days, you may still have some residual crap coming to you from before. Unfortunately, crap doesn't travel at the speed of light. So it might take a while to clear out. I've given this challenge to thousands of people, and I'm blown away at how many of them have told me that this one teensy-weensy exercise has transformed their lives. I guarantee you'll be astonished at how amazing your life will be when you stop focusing on, and thereby stop attracting, crap into your life. If you've been a complainer, forget about attracting success for now. For most people, just getting to neutral would be a great start. Blame, justification, and complaining are like pills. They are nothing more than stress reducers. They alleviate the stress of failure. Think about it. If a person weren't failing in some way, shape, or form, would he or she need to blame, justify, or complain? The obvious answer is no. From now on, as you hear yourself disastrously blaming, justifying, or complaining, cease and desist immediately. Remind yourself that you are creating your life and that at every moment you will be attracting either success or crap into your life. It is imperative you choose your thoughts and words wisely. Now you're ready to hear one of the greatest secrets in the world. Are you ready? Read this carefully. There is no such thing as a really rich victim. Did you get that? I'll say it again. There is no such thing as a really rich victim. Besides, who would listen? Tisk, tisk. I got a scratch in my yacht. To which almost anyone would respond, who gives a hoot? Wealth principle. There is no such thing as a really rich victim. Meanwhile, being a victim definitely has its rewards. What do people get out of being a victim? The answer is attention. Is attention important? You bet it is. In some form or another, it's what almost everyone lives for. And the reason people live for attention is that they've made a critical mistake. It is the same error that virtually all of us have made. We've confused attention with love. Believe me, it is virtually impossible to be truly happy and successful when you're constantly yearning for attention. Because if it's attention you want, you're at the mercy of others. You usually end up as a people pleaser, begging for approval. Attention seeking is also a problem because people tend to do stupid things to get it. It is imperative to unhook attention and love for a number of reasons. First, you will be more successful. Second, you will be happier. And third, you can find true love in your life. For the most part, when people confuse love and attention, they don't love each other in the true spiritual sense of the word. They love each other largely from the place of their own ego, as in, I love what you do for me. Therefore, the relationship is really about the individual and not about the other person, or at least the both of you. By disconnecting attention from love, you will be freed. You will be freed up to love another for who they are, rather than what they do for you. Now, as I said, there is no such thing as a rich victim. So to stay a victim, attention seekers make darn sure they never get rich. It's time to decide. You can be a victim, or you can be rich, but you can't be both. Listen up. Every time, and I mean every time, you blame, justify, or complain, you are slitting your financial throat. Sure, it would be nice to use a kinder and gentler metaphor, but forget it. I'm not interested in kind or gentle right now. I'm interested in helping you see exactly what the heck you're doing to yourself. Later, once you get rich, we can be kinder and gentler. How's that? It's time to take back your power and acknowledge that you create everything that is in your life and everything that is not in it. Realize that you create your wealth, your non-wealth, and every level in between.
Holy moly. OMG. How good was that? Thank you, Jessica, for reading that. Oh, you did such a good job. Thank you.
Okay.
Guys, I've got so many awesome golden nuggets from that. I mean, we all know attention seekers and stuff like that, and it's true. People do mix it up, like attention and love, and they think it's the same thing, and it's really not. Oh my gosh, I've got so many stars here, like next to all of this. Okay, so we've got blame, justification, and complaining are like pills. Yeah, when you do it, you feel good. Okay, so I'm just going to go to the very beginning of this, and from there, I'm just going to point some stuff out to y'all and see what y'all think about all of this. Okay, so I got this one thing. It says, you decide based on what you believe is logical, sensible, and appropriate for you at the time. You make what you think is the right choice. The problem, however, is that your right choice may not be a successful choice. In fact, what makes perfect sense to you may consistently produce perfectly poor results. You know, he talks about the wealth files being in your cabinet. He talks about his wife going in and looking at a purse and saying, "Oh my gosh, that's such a good deal," and because that's how her wealth file is. So we've got to replace the old with the new. What do you guys think about that? I want to hear what you have to say about that. Who's gonna talk first? Whoever mutes their microphone first. Who's got something to say? Have I got something to say? Oh,
Well, I can speak.
Y'all are like crickets? Oh, hello, my
Yeah, I can
dear
speak.
secret admirer. Thank you.
Well, good stuff, right? That came on late, right? That came late.
It did. Yeah,
Listen, if you guys allow me to say a little story,
sure.
because I know that he's talking about the 17 wealth files, right? I actually did a blog, and it kind of like went a little bit viral when I did it, and it was about that. But it's just this chapter here just reminded me of a story. Well, there's a whole bunch of stories, and if I tell you all of them, they are all very similar. And it's pretty much people that came from the bottom and became multi-millionaires. And at the end, even though it's with a different product that they were able to accomplish that, the stories is almost the same. And one of the things that I've noticed to these people about these people is the word persistent. No matter what happens, they just keep moving forward. So when T Harv Eker was talking about there, wait, hold on, I was taking notes. So let me find it. Where was it that I wrote it here when he was talking? But it says here, think how rich people think. Right now, the story that I'm about to tell you, the man was not rich at the time, but he became rich because he has something inside of him that allowed him to do that. And the person that I'm gonna talk about is Mr. Honda, the inventor of the Honda automobile. Back in the late 20s, early 30s, Toyota was already out in Japan, and what Mr. Honda did was he built piston rings for engines. So what he was doing was he was selling it. He was trying to be a marketer. Now he had his wife at home, and he was just trying to sell this to Toyota. And he was buying it. Toyota was buying it from him, but he wasn't making a lot of money. Now a lot of things happened in Japan at that time, so he was forced to pretty much sell his patent piston ring to Toyota, right? So after that, he had like a little mechanic shop because he used to build engine and stuff like that. So he would take his bicycle and go to work at his shop, right, and sell engines. So he noticed that it took him too long for him to go to work in his bicycle. So what he did was he built a little engine and put it on his bicycle. So made it like a little motorcycle, right? So people started seeing what he did. So people all of a sudden started saying, listen, can you build one like that for me? So he started doing that. He saw an opportunity. And he said, you know what? I could help people. There's a service that I can bring out. Plus, I can support my family with this. So anyways, he started building engines, right, and put it in motorcycles. But now that cost a lot of money also to do. So what he started doing, he started calling every bicycle shop in the world to see who, invest with him. And he called over 25,000 of them in order for him to get, some investors. He finally was able to get somebody to invest with him. And, at the time, the bikes were very bulky because the engine. So he said, I got to find a way to make it smaller. So he did that with those investors. They were able to invest with him. And that's how he started doing the engines and the motorcycles, right? He had his shop. Now, the reason why he had to sell his piston, going back to the story, his piston rings to Toyota was because World War II happened and things were going really bad for him. So he had to sell his whole patent of piston rings to Toyota. So then afterwards, he started doing the engines, right, and the bicycles. He was able to open his warehouse. Everything was going good, and all of a sudden, a big, massive earthquake leveled his whole shop. So he had to start all over from the beginning. Now, he did have a reputation of building great engines. So he was doing lawnmowers. He was doing all the types of little engines for machines. And then eventually, he just kept on and kept on and kept on, and was able to build the automobile. So after he did that, after he was able to build the automobile, he outsold everybody in the world except Toyota. So when I read that, when I read that about him, one thing that I noticed, even though it's a beautiful story, and I'm sure that the book explains it way better than I just explained it, one of the things that I see in that whole scenario there is persistent. And so at that time, he was thinking like a rich man. I believe persistence is a big key to get to achieve your goals or to achieve an outcome. And I also want to add, one of the things that I'm learning is, you can see things as failures, or you can see things as results or an outcome, right? So, there's always going to be a result, whether it's a good result or a bad result. Sometimes you might get a bad result, and you might think it's a bad result, and that bad result might lead to a good outcome. So, some people give up fast because of their minds are not ready to take a bad result. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important how he explained there, to think like a rich person, because sometimes you're not going to get the result you want at that time, but that result might lead to something greater. So as long as you don't give up and you have that rich mentality, you should be able to succeed.
Thank you, Vargas. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's an awesome story, man. Guys, what do you guys? Anybody else wanna add to that? What part of the book kind of stuck out to you the most? John, I know that you had unmuted your microphone. Go ahead and share.
Well, I got something really short. it was the part where he explained the what did they call it, the whining and the complaining and all that, those three things. I know you probably know people in your life that have done this, and what do you do with those kind of people? Do you allow them to stay in your life and watch them get even more negative, or do you try to help them? Obviously, you're going to try and help them, but there are some people that just can't be helped. So you have to put it into their hands and let them do what they're going to do. And sometimes that means you have to just part ways for a short time or a long time. But the thing that really struck me was the separation between love and attention. And people really do. They mix that up. And I mean, even I know myself when I was younger, I would definitely go down that road of attention and thinking it was love. And this book is an amazing book. If you're just joining, you really got to read the beginning of it too, and just follow along with us. This is really a life changer kind of a book.
Jessica, would you like to add to that, my darling? I love that. That was beautiful. Who did that? That was genius. Y'all are crazy. Jessica, thank you for reading. I don't know if you have any hydration left in your body.
But yeah, that same part about you can't be rich and be a complainer. He just lays it out there. And so it's like, that's your choice. What are you going to do with it?
Oh my gosh, I know, I love that. Isn't that so good? But he talks about, it's the victim clues, 3 of them, blame, justification, and complaining. And he talks about it being like pills. And then he says, plenty of people, however, love to hang out and listen to complainers, okay? Why? It's simple. They're only waiting for their own turn.
That's amazing.
That's horrible, right? People hang out with other people just to complain with them. You know what I mean? Like, that's my homie dog. We kick it. We're gonna be together forever. But when you really look at the relationship, are y'all broke? Both of y'all are probably broke. Both of y'all are probably sitting there, complaining about your situation, complaining about your man, complaining about your bills, complaining that you got some aches in your behind. Oh, girl, I'm getting old, and I'm feeling all the aches and the pains and this. And he says it's like a pill. It makes you feel good, And so when you let it out, it's like, oh, that felt great. But then the problem doesn't go away. It's still there. What do you guys think, Myra and Edgar? Because I know you guys always have some awesome stuff to share about that.
Let me see if I can think of something really quick. Let me start complaining for a second. I know it's just to give you a cool example. I have Gmail account, but because I've never used Google Hangouts, I'm not going to even connect. Because, I'm already complaining. Why don't you try? Did you try? Did you put your fingers on the keyboard or on the mouse and start looking for what is Hangouts about? Can you imagine all of us complaining? This call wouldn't be here. They wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be reading this awesome book. We wouldn't be learning, right? So, do something. Explore. Check. Can you imagine if Michael Jordan complained when he didn't make the high school basketball team? He worked at it, right? And it was hard for him to work because he apparently wasn't that good in his high school year where he didn't make the team. When he started working, and it hurt a little to go to practice, and it hurt a little to run more, and it hurt a little to start the jumping training, which is sprinting and weight training and a lot more. Like, he put himself to work. That will hurt a little, but the sacrifice will pay.
Yeah. For me, I just have to have this comment because keep to my mind when we start to reading this part of the complaining. Sometimes we don't in this part of the book he mentioned literally the people complaining, but sometimes we have to check on ourselves when we uh, make the complaint but hiding. I don't know if it makes sense. It's like when you start to say to people, okay, when you going to make a decision to enter to the business thing about to make a commitment, they start to question. They start to getting, okay, no, but let me start with this, or let me start with just only with this part, not all in, or completing or making investment, because I think that for myself is that if you're gonna make a decision to your life or make a transformation to your life, you have to be committed completely in any kind of business. There's no such a thing that you can go to the pool and check if it's cool or is hot the water to get in. It's just that sometimes we don't notice that we see that a lot, that many people start to question about the way that they have to make some changes, and at the same time they just realize, no, it's not that I'm complaining, it's just that I be careful. And I think that the word careful at the end is a complaint, because if somebody is able to tell you that you have to do this to change your life, and you have to do this to make it to be better on your business or better person, you have to do it, not because you're able to say something different. It's because they say so. It's because they know it. And I think that the many complaints that the people sometimes they don't realize that they don't make a good on the business because they're complaining from the beginning in their thoughts inside, because maybe they don't show, they say, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, but you make all the steps to do it. Is something that everybody have to realize when they make decisions, that sometimes it's literally the complaint, but sometimes other people try to make to hide in another way the complaining.
What about this? When you're complaining, okay, when you're complaining, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. So in other words, you keep complaining. Whatever you focus on grows, you know? So that's one of the things. I told my girlfriend the other day, I was like, girl, I am not going to call you for 3 months and complain about this one thing, because I was complaining. And so I said, I'm not going to complain, so I haven't. And to be honest with you, it didn't even take 7 days. I think it's only been a few. It's probably been 7 days. And the situation has just become so much lighter, and really it's not even as bad as I thought it was. But when you focus on that, oh my gosh, your brain can totally, make up all kinds of things, and you just worry, and you attract even more to it. Because now you're just like, whatever little thing you complain about, then something happens, and then you're like, oh, you see, I knew it, and then you pinpoint at these things, and it's like a constant, that's what you're focusing on, that's what you're gonna get, Let's go. Oh, I like this topic, and I was just like, oh my goodness, I know so many people that say stuff like this, and I used to say stuff like this too. I did. I was very guilty of it, and money is not really important, right? And then they say love, right? They say, wait, what did he say? Talking about, money isn't as important as love. And then he's like, what you talking about? That's like saying that you'd rather have an arm instead of both legs. It's just like, what does one thing have to do with the other? Right? I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, we can't get into the whole topic of, well, the love of money and da-da-da-da-da-da. Ooh, I would love for John and Jessica to talk a little bit about that. What do you guys think? Money's not really important. That's when they, you know, and then he asks them, you're broke, aren't you? And then they're just like, well, right now I'm struggling, you know, going through a little bit of a struggle, and then he's like, nah, you're broke.
Yeah, I thought, you know, that was very insightful. I mean, he's obviously seen that a long time, since he's more than likely rich, speaking from that perspective. And he knows, well, if someone comes up to him and says, well, you know, money's not important, and, you know, I've just been going through some financial difficulties at this point. And he's like, yeah, I'm calling your crap. And, you know, you've been broke, and you're going to continue to be broke until you're able to change what your files are in your head. I thought it just kind of made me take a step back and think, wow, that is insightful. And, you know, it really is true. Whatever is in your heart is what you're going to speak, and what you speak is what you're going to get.
Woo, isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Guys, so listen, it's 8:05. I didn't even realize, but Jessica, you want to go ahead and add to that, honey bunny? Go ahead.
Sure. We recently wrote our, what's it called again? Manifesto. Well, we call it our Macaw Manifesto, but it's our major definite purpose. And it's really cool because the Holy Spirit actually dropped a lot of it into me and like organized and everything. But since we've been saying it, so, you know, a couple times a day, sometimes we're bad at it, but we're getting better at it. It's just been amazing at how already we're starting to see things happening that we've been speaking. And it makes me feel even more empowered every time we say it. So whenever I'm getting these, you know, doubt kind of thoughts like, you know, we really need money for this or whatever, we speak it, and then it's like it just feels empowering, and we're already seeing results. It's really awesome.
Wow, I love that. If you guys can post on your Facebook pages, like if anybody knows, like maybe the questions or the statements, not necessarily specific statements, because I know that can be a little, you know, all up in the business, but you know, something to the effect that people can just kind of look at it and see if they can do something like that. You know, it's so powerful. It's so powerful. Guys, connect with John and Jessica, and they're awesome. I love you guys just posting stuff like that. You guys are always, you know, saying positive things, and I really love it. You guys keep my spirits lifted all the time. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And we're going to switch it over to Myra and Edgar. And any last words, my Puerto Rican power couple?
Yeah, I think that the things that the people have to realize is that they make excuses on sometimes the one who thinks that is true. And I hope that everybody can learn a lot on this chapter, because this chapter is powerful. If you haven't the book, read it again, because sometimes you're going to identify yourself, maybe I'm that kind of person. And it's something that is going to take you to move on, to be a better, realize, identify, and make a change to get to the next step.
Okay, don't complain. You'll attract crap.
That is the best part here.
That's it, right? And point blank, don't complain. You'll attract more of what it is that you're complaining about. Stop complaining. Show up to the webinars weekly, and, you know, fill your brain with good stuff.
We've just been challenged. It's a 7-day, no crap zone. Okay, do it. It's
yes.
a good idea.
Yes, 7 days. No talking the crap, guys. No talking the crap. I know it feels good to talk the crap because it lets out all that negative energy. But you know what? You wouldn't have the negative energy if you wouldn't be focusing on that one thing. Okay? So, you know, we're trying to prescribe you a little medicine here, right, y'all? So y'all need to listen up. And Vargas, my secret admirer, thank you for being here.
Well, no, thank you guys for allowing me to be here. It was, you know, it was a blessing for me to be here. You know, to just hang out with like-minded people and just getting better and better every day. Yeah, I see that the word crap was thrown around all day today, and it's kind of funny because he speaks about it, And if you really think about the word, that's all it is, crap. So when you say it a few times, it kind of like it could put you in perspective for you to think more positive. And even though sometimes negative thoughts can come your way, just think of the word crap, and that should make you laugh. And might be able to go ahead and switch your thinking. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just the way that I see it. I don't know if it will work for you, but I think it will work for me. But besides that, I think it was a good read today. I can't wait for next week. I can't wait to put into practice what I learned today, and pretty much, stay positive. That's it.
Thank you, Vargas. Thank you. It's always a pleasure having you on. So, guys, let's go ahead and unmute our mics, and I'm excited because I think that this is one of my favorite chapters. I haven't even gotten into the rest of it, but this is one of my favorite chapters, and you're going to see me all over Facebook posting these things, and y'all can repost them if you want, but it's good stuff, y'all. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch over to or Myra, if you have it there, you could just put it up. What page is it? Oh, wait, here it is. Okay, no, I got it, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and so everybody can see the panelists, right? Okay, so you're going to go ahead and place your hand on your heart and say this, okay? Repeat it after me. Here we go. Okay, I create the exact level of my financial success.
I create the exact level of my financial success.
Yes. Touch your head.
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
Yes. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind.
I have a millionaire mind.
Yes, amen. Yes, you do.
I do.
Oh, wait. Alex is he's kind of soaking that one in. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And listen, viewers, if you're here watching, if you're a part of our team, get to the TNT training. Also, if you are watching this and you speak Spanish somehow and you're on here because you think we're lovely, I don't know, but get to Myra's trainings because she has something going on Tuesdays as well, right, Myra, right after this?
Yeah, at 7:30.
Okay, cool. So in Spanish, right?
In Spanish, in Spanish, yeah.
That's 7:30 Pacific?
No, Central, and
Central.
8:30 Eastern, and 5:30 Pacific.
Okay, cool. So, guys, yeah, definitely, if you want to learn how we make money online, how we make money from home, how we get to sit here and have fun and just talk to each other, and we get to meet each other and go to events and hang out and, bring home the bacon, be sure to be on these webinars tonight. We're going to be leaving some links below to the English one, and connect with Myra if you're Spanish and you want to connect to the Spanish one. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I love y'all, millionaires. I will see y'all next week. Remember, 7 days, no complaining. Quit the crap. Stop thinking about the crap because you're going to continue to attract the crap. Love y'all. Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.